So today I will explain to you how you can progress faster than anyone in your Taekwondo class. Here's exactly how. Okay? We'll go through it step by step. And for that reason, I've come up with a simple formula. Okay? Volume times quality times rate of learning equals your result. What does it mean in Taekwondo terms? The amount of training sessions you attend and do times the quality of those sessions and times your rate of learning in these sessions equals your result. But first, we'll talk about volume. How can you increase the amount of volume you do? Simple. You need to max out your recovery, okay? The most important thing in order to max out recovery is sleeping. Sleeping an appropriate amount of time. If you're trying to go pro, you need to sleep even more than the average person. And what's important is that you think about the circadian cycles, okay? Your body rests in a rhythm of 90 minutes. Okay, so try to get 90 minutes of sleep cycles into your sleep, and probably 9 hours, 7.5 hours, something like that. If you wake up in the wrong phase, you will feel bad when waking up. You can get some kind of sleep tracker or watch which tracks your sleep. This can help identify the phases and how long you take to fall asleep and all of those factors. Another thing I want to talk about is naps. Naps can be good or they can be bad depending on how long they are and when they start and end. So naps you should do probably before 1 p.m. if you want to do any naps. Otherwise it will affect your night sleep. And if you're gonna nap after 1 p.m., it shouldn't be longer than 10 minutes, or else it will affect your night sleep and therefore damage the whole sleep itself. Another important factor is the environment, especially things like temperature, quality of air, which affect your sleep. Okay. The mattress can be important too, your sleeping position. All of those things should be optimized. Okay, for me it's very hard to fall asleep in hot temperatures, so I like to sleep with an open window, which also improves the quality of air. Sleeping position, mattresses, and pillows are things you should consider too, because the amount of oxygen you take in while sleeping also affects your rest. The next point is food. Okay, food is very important because this determines your energy also, because your gut is like your second brain. It affects your mood, it affects your energy. So when should you eat carbs? Carbs are your source of energy, your main source of energy, and you should eat them mainly before and after training in order to replenish glycogen in the muscles and load them before training. The next thing, or the next point, is you need to have a high protein, high fat diet in order to build muscles, and high fats or high healthy fats. Okay, you don't want to jug 1 liter of seed oils down. You want to eat fats like butter or animal fats, which will then help you with inflammation and recovery. Also, you should avoid inflammatory foods. Also, there are anti-inflammatory foods like ginger, which help you lower the inflammation in your body, therefore helping you recover faster. Another thing is sauna and massages. I'll put them in the same category. simply because they help you to get blood flow to your muscles and therefore more nutrients to them, which will help you recover faster. Another thing is stress management, okay? If you're highly stressed, your recovery will suffer from it. So you need to change your relationship with stress, and if you can't do that, you need to lower the stress you have. I can't give a personalized advice on stress management simply because there are so many facets of it and you can find resources of it online. So why is quality of training important? Quality of training is important because it will affect how much you learn per session, how much you can learn per session, and how intense these sessions are. Obviously, quality of training will also affect volume, because if you train very low intense, you can do more volume, or if you do high intense training, you can probably do less volume. So you should really find a structure which fits you. As you can see, we have a pyramid right here, and from the top to the bottom is the amount of time spent in that step, okay? Step number 1 is specify, okay? You want to specify your goal, thing you're working towards. So, for example, I want to learn this Pumse in such and such amount of time. That's a specific goal, okay? You don't want your goal to just be better at Taekwondo. You want it to be more specific than that. Okay, specify your goal. The second point is structure, okay? You want to build a structure to your goal, a training plan, a meal plan, training times, all of these things go into structure, and you want to spend some time more and even more time in starting, okay? What is starting? Starting does not only mean just following your plans, but also making them habit. Okay, you want to stick to your plans, so we'll focus on making those things a habit. So if you skip training once, it's alright, but never skip training twice, or it will spiral down. You will skip training more often and often. Next point is shift. Okay, shift what? You want to shift the structure around your training. Okay, the amount of times you train, the intensity of your training, all this depends on the stage of your goal, how far you are to your goal, and how far you progress. The next point is rate of learning, okay? Rate of learning is not just talent, but also other things. But non-deniably, talent affects your rate of learning. So what else impacts your learning? The type of learning, or the type of learner you are, okay? Some people learn better when looking at something. Some people learn better when performing something. Some people perform better from hearing something, okay? That's something you need to figure out. For me personally, it's doing things myself, which improves my learning, but it's very individual, okay? Very personalized. So that's important to find out, because this will affect rate of learning probably most next to talent. The next point is reviewing, okay? That's a laptop right here. You want to take your videos, or you want to take videos of you doing things towards your goal. You want to review the footage, find your mistakes, and improve them, okay? This is very important, because if you don't review your mistakes, you're not actually fixing anything. you're just doing the same things over and over again, you're not tracking your progress. So reviewing is very important. Next point is your source of information, okay? Source of information means how do you learn or where do you gain your knowledge from, okay? Like, do you train with a coach? Do you train on your own? Do you train most of the time with your coach? Do you train most of the time alone? Things like that. Do you train with books? Train within the internet? Things like that. This is also a point which affects your rate of learning. Probably not as much as the others, but it can be a huge turning point for you. The next point is learning posture. Learning posture is not physically meant posture, but your mindset behind it, okay? How's your relationship with your coach? Do you humble yourself when talking to your coach, or do you have a high ego and regard words of your coach? This is something very important. If you're a student, you need to keep your ego out. When you're competing, that's a different thing. But when you're actually getting advice or feedback from someone who knows better than you, then you probably should follow them. And not only your coach, but also people who train around you, the people who train with you, your teammates. This is very important too, because often you not only learn from the coach, but also from the teammates. This is also something which goes into learning posture, which you should consider. Okay, those are the things which increase your rate of learning, increase how fast you progress in your training, okay? If you need specific advice, you can probably just shoot me a DM. Below you can find my Instagram or just write a comment. And if you have any questions or feedback, you can put that in the comments too. Thank you for listening. See each other in the next video.